Oh, woo. Hello, it's me, Brian. Today, we talk about some more people stuff, personality stuff. I haven't made any of these videos in a long time, and a couple of you guys have made comments, saying that you really like it when I did make these kind of videos, because for whatever reason. So figured I'd just keep making them. Grief, loss, right? The process. Let me see, the 7 steps or 5 steps or 3 steps. I don't know how many steps. I just know that there's a couple of the bigger steps in the beginning are shock, right? Grief, right? Anger, acceptance, right? And then moving forward. Now, for some people, this process takes years. For other people, this process takes days, hours sometimes. Sometimes it never happens. Alright? Okay. But for the most part, it starts out with, shock. Oh my God. And then the object of their, their caring, their love, accidentally passes away. Alright? Yes, I'm rolling bomber. Alright? And then, you have to put it into context. This individual, has it was their partner, life partner, 50 years, 60 years. Hell, my parents were married 61 years when my dad died, and my mom went straight through it. But anyways, during the course of that, that partnership, sometimes, right? One of the partners takes control, right, and runs the entire, the entire operation for the whole period. Does all the bills, takes care of all the finances, makes all the deals, does all the work, builds the house, the farmstead, the ranchstead, the condo, whatever. Goes to work every day, works hard, comes home, And the partner that's left behind, the survivor, over the course of this lifetime, they learn and accept, just simply, unknowingly, right, the fact that they don't have to worry about it. So they don't concern themselves with it at all. Right? Only on the periphery, only when, the part of it that they're, or their partner, who passed, gave them a little bit of responsibility for this or that, and they had to take care of that. And then, kabang, out of clear blue sky, the partner dies. The one who took care of everything. Everything. Right? And now, right, the survivor is left, stuck. Number one, you gotta remember, grief. Right, and they are still shell shocked. They're still, oh my God, because now the partner that takes care of everything is not there. And they have no understanding. They don't even know how much money they got. Right? So, right, they reach out, or in some cases, the family comes together to take care of grandma, or grandpa, or Uncle Bill, or Auntie Sue, or whoever, right? And one or two or all, right, get into the tussle, right, over who's going to take care of, right, and before you know it, it's splintered, it's fractured everywhere, right, and the survivor, right, who is still out there, slowly, day by day, the process is working, You know what I'm saying? But they still haven't come to the part of acceptance. They're still stuck in the part of anger, because now they're starting to see, you know what I'm saying, that their children, you know, family members, children, children, right, who for this whole entire life, you know what I'm saying, they've seen them one way. You understand? But now that they are responsible, right, and that they have to take control of their own life, right, and they're watching all of this other stuff, and they're starting to see people for what they really are and how they really act and what they're really about. You understand? And they're discovering that they have been, you know, lied to on a number of occasions throughout their lifetime. They have, you know, they've had things have been hidden from them that they had 20 years ago, you know, 30 years ago, that they never even knew, right? That, you know what I'm saying? And now the whole facade, you know what I'm saying, that they built for themselves, right? You know what I'm saying? They're starting to crumble. And it's not crumbling little pieces by little pieces. It's starting to fall off for chunks, right? Windows are falling out. You know what I'm saying? And reality is starting to set in fast, but yet we're still stuck, right, in our grieving process. But now we've you know, accelerated, right, to anger, and we're mad, right? We're mad because all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but they're still grieving in their heart. They're still missing their partner, and they don't want to accept the fact that their partner's not there anymore to fix this and to tell me this stuff's not true, right? And all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they have nowhere to turn, right? And then, without realizing it, because they, you know, they're not used to correlating things. They're not used to putting things together, right? A couple of two or three of the family members, the close family members that live within the proximity, right, are there for her, caring for her. You know what I'm saying? Or him, right? Like doing those things every day, right? You know what I'm saying? And right, when you have to deal with them, you know what I'm saying, struggling through the process of trying to get them to understand that you got to pay this, or this has been paid, or we got to do that, or we got to file this application with the government, we got to file that application with the state, right? They're, you know, they take offense at the fact that they feel like they're being controlled, without realizing that for this whole entire lifetime, unwittingly, they allowed their partner to control them. Right? See, so there's, it's the mechanics of it all. This thing leads to that thing, that leads to this thing, that leads to that thing, and they get stuck, either in the grieving process or the anger process, right, or both, right, and they never make it to the acceptance process of accepting the simple fact that my partner's gone. They're never going to come back. I'm never going to get to hold them. I'm never going to get to kiss them. I'm never going to hear them tell me that they love me anymore. I'm never going to get to tell them that I still love them with all of my heart. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right? They don't want to accept that. They don't want to get there. Right? So how do you deal with this? It's not easy. Especially when you know yourself, right, can see what's going on, right? But you're walking a very, very thin line. You know what I'm saying? Because if you say the right thing or the wrong thing, you could trigger any kind of a response, and that could lead to a bigger response, and that could lead to a deeper response, right? And then before you know it, right, you know, the person that you're trying to help, or the person that, you know, that's asking you for their help, you know what I'm saying? Even though they tell you, you know what I'm saying, they appreciate it, that they're grateful that you're still there, that there's somebody there to help them, you know what I'm saying, make it through, right? At the same time, you know what I'm saying, right, you get this low level, low frequency human abuse, you know what I'm saying, and you know, attitude and all this other stuff that you know that in any other situation this never would have occurred, right? Because any other time they wouldn't ever be angry. they would have nothing to be angry about. Right? And then anger leads to a whole bunch of other stuff. Especially when everybody's, clamoring around and trying to do this and trying to do that and trying to help and trying to, right? They get locked in their mind now because now they have no protection. Their partner is not there to protect them and fend off all of this shit and keep the dragons away, right? You know what I'm saying? They have to do it themselves, and the only way they know how to do that is to gather everything around them and block it up, right? Including, right? And now, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, there's nothing that you can do that's going to satisfy this person, that's going to convince this person, that's going to show this person that you're not the one, that you haven't changed any iota, any bit, right, through all of this. That you're still there doing the chores, that you're still there helping out, that you're still there cooking dinner, right, when they haven't eaten in a day and a half, you know what I'm saying, because they're lost in the memories and the photographs and the cards and the letters that they kept their whole lives, because this was the love of their life. Love is a very powerful force, my friends. So, how do you deal with it? That's twice I've asked that question. Huh? There's a couple of ways, I guess. One is you can be who you really are, which you're supposed to be, right? And you cannot allow any of that stuff to harm you, right? To hurt you or to pierce, your armor, right? And just accept the simple fact that this is the process and they got to go through it no matter what it is, right? But stand your ground. Two. This one will make the situation even worse, but a lot of people, they think that this is the way to go. It's to give it right back to them. Because they're not smart enough to realize that this person's not angry at them. This person's angry at the world, at the situation, at the loss of their partner. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's just bleeding over. Because all this other stuff is piled on top now. And it's like, oh my God, what isn't this really been my whole life? They're questioning everything. Caring. Unconditional love. It's what your dog gives you. It's what your kitty gives you. It's what your birdies give you. It's what your children give you. Right? Unconditional love. You find that happy medium between non-acceptance and anger, right? And love and compassion. You find that happy medium somewhere in between and stand your ground and you be firm and you bring them back to what they think is reality, to their own version of it, because we're all unique. We all have our own different perceptions, right? And you slowly, over time, you know what I'm saying, right? Reel them back in so that they have an opportunity to make it through the process and get on with their life. Sure, it ain't fun being yelled at sometimes. Sure, it ain't fun, being cussed out for something you don't even know. Huh? You didn't even know that. I've said this a million times. If you think here, if you start here, no matter the situation, no matter how many blocks are falling out of the sky, no matter how many nuclear bombs are blowing up, no matter how many zombies are at the back porch screen door, this will follow you, and you will always be right. You have to give unconditional love and accept the simple fact that one day this person or persons are going to step through the doorway into acceptance, right? And then that open doorway, right, is going to lead them into their new life. Yeah, I've been through this one before. Anyways, just, some thoughts I was thinking about. But hey, I know you said, what I'm saying. I would really appreciate, if you would critique this video, in your professional capacity. Right. I know I'm pretty smart, and I know I have a very good understanding of the human psyche. Because I just, that's like my superpower. I get people. Sometimes I don't want to, but I do. Right. So, anybody else got a comment? I don't care, good, bad, but just remember, let's stay within the guidelines. Nobody wants to get in trouble here. Google's been cracking down lately on a lot of people. A lot of channels have been deleted, because people have been, acting out again. But that's the human process. It's me, Brian. Thank you. Please like and subscribe and share this video if you think it's important enough for other people to know about.